The evening sky smelled like rain, refreshing amidst the nervousness Anna was feeling about the events to come. Butterflies lived in her stomach, and they were dancing with anticipation, making her jittery. Nonetheless, she wasn't going to back down. Not tonight. She climbed out of the back seat of the Uber and yelled, "Thank you," before closing the door. The car pulled away and she smoothed out her skirt, taking a deep breath before walking up to the house. People were strewn across the lawn and patio, and Anna felt out of place immediately. She awkwardly walked past everyone outside and went through the front door, overwhelmed. She scanned the room, seeing people in every part of the house. Music blasted from somewhere, and everyone was talking or shouting happily. Anna shoved gently through the crowd, trying to avoid eye contact as best she could. She made her way to the table that had alcohol bottles scattered across, and Anna shakily poured herself a drink, praying it would calm her nerves. She took a sip and decided to check out the entirety of the party. In the living room, a table for beer pong was set up, frat guys cheering and hollering around it. In the backyard, a pool sat empty, but was surrounded by people. Anna sighed, feeling even more out of place with every passing second. She lapped back in the house, finding a quiet corner to hide away in. A few minutes passed, and Anna heard loud giggling slowly approach her quiet corner. A group of 3 rowdy girls who were vibrant in energy were moving in her direction. One of them accidentally bumped into her and turned around suddenly. "Sorry, She saw the look in her face, realizing her discomfort. "Hey, you seem a little out of place. Let me help." Fished in her pocket and pulled out a plastic bag, holding a pill. "Take this. It'll help you loosen up." "Oh, no, thanks. I'm okay." "Trust me." The girl grabbed her hand, forcing the pill into her palm. Anna looked in her eyes then and saw mischief and stubbornness dancing around in the blues and grays. "Okay, I guess." Anna took another deep breath before taking the pill in her mouth, washing it down with her drink. All 3 girls nodded in approval, one of them giggling and cheering. The one who handed her the pill reached into the opposite pocket, pulling out something fuzzy. A stuffed animal. She shoved it in her hand and shouted, "Have fun!" before they all disappeared in the crowd. Anxiety began to sink in, and Anna began to bounce her leg in her seat, thinking of how she could get out of this. She lunged out of her seat, booking it to the closest bathroom. The line was long, but she couldn't wait, so she shoved through them to get into the bathroom next. People began shouting and groaning as soon as the door swung shut and locked. Anna kneeled in front of the toilet, trying to make herself throw up. After a couple of minutes, she grumbled, giving up. Shit. She was just going to have to ride this out, whatever it was. She pulled out her phone, Googling the possibility of what she may have taken. Research quickly led her to believe it was MDMA, making Anna freak out even more. But at this point, she had no choice. She slowly crept up, walking out of the bathroom to the backyard. She clutched the stuffed animal in her hands, taking a second to examine it. A bunny. Cute. After a few minutes, sitting by the pool, she began to feel the effects of the drug, and time began slipping away. Her focus began to melt into the bunny in her hands, as well as the people and the music around her. A smile crept on her face, and she began to tap her foot to the music. It began to ooze into her skin, begging her to get up and dance. She danced her way into the living room, where the music was the loudest, and flowed along with it. This seemed to go on forever. She began to get hot. After a while, Anna made her way to the kitchen once again, pouring herself a drink before heading out to the front. She walked down the street, consumed by the warm, fuzzy feeling in her chest. She then laid down in a lawn somewhere, pushing her face into the wet grass. It was refreshing. Kaboom! Down the street, a massive explosion erupted, making Anna's ears ring. She shot up to her feet, sloppily running to the direction of the sound. It was the house of the party. Up in smoke! Anna began to sob suddenly, realizing that there were so many people in this building that had just died right in front of her face. And a few minutes later, everything went black.